what's going on, traders? It's Johnny here with Trader X. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Wednesday today, and I wanted to go ahead and provide you guys with the update and let you guys know how my day trading did go today. And so as you guys can tell from the screen, unfortunately today was another red day, right? So third red day in a row this week. I haven't had a green day yet, and I was down $56.87 on the Nasdaq ETF TQQQ, and $2.25 I was up on the Nasdaq Inverse ETF, ticker symbol SQQQ, right? And so these are all my fill orders. You guys can see the timestamps here on the left, the quantity I was trading with, the ETF itself right over here, and then on the right you can see the prices that I bought in and out, right? So you guys can take a look at that for your reference, but I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the video. And so what I wanted to mainly talk about today was what I think led to me losing money on the day and what I could do better, and just for starters, what ended up happening is pre-market, the Nasdaq was indicating signs of a sell-off, right? In trading between the middle VWAP and the bottom VWAP, right? And ultimately, this thing ended up picking up, during pre-market still, and ended up selling off. And so right around this area where you see this huge increase in volume, right? These blue bars, this is exactly where the market opened. And what ended up happening was actually very similar to what's been happening this whole week, well, the past 2 days, right? So the previous past 2 days, what would happen with the NASDAQ is it would tend to push up right at market open and then completely change direction, right? And so it's pretty much similar to what you guys saw here today, and where the market, right, opened at 6:30. It caused a nice little pop, and then ultimately, there was too much selling pressure, right? And it ended up with all the influx of sellers entering the market and the increase in volume, it caused the price of the Nasdaq to drop very aggressively, right? So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into any of this juice here to the inverse ETF, ticker symbol SQQQ. What I actually did was initially, as this thing sold off, I waited for it to pick back up to the EMA, and then I wanted to go with the flow, right? So today, what I wanted to do was make sure I was getting into stuff that was indicating signs of an uptrend, and stop trying to predict reversals, right? As you guys know, the past 2 days I have been trying to predict reversals, and it has cost me ultimately to lose money. So today I really wanted to focus on direction and going with the flow. So as this thing sold off all the way down here, right, it eventually ended up correcting itself back up to the EMA. And this all happened within a short period of time, right? So given the fact that it corrected itself back up so fast, I decided to get back into SQQQ in case it were to get rejected, and that's exactly what ended up happening, right? I got into SQs, averaged up, and then cut it prematurely, the trade, and I was up probably around $40 to $50 at that point on the day, but I ended up giving back everything the remainder of the day. So as you guys will notice, it became very, very choppy, and it changed directions very fast. So ultimately, this thing ended up reversing itself, right? And as this thing picked back up to the EMA, I believe I tried getting into SQs, right, in case it were to continue to sell off. But ultimately, obviously, as you guys know, this thing ended up shooting up and I had to cut losses. And so that's ultimately what started to me becoming red on the day, right, and losing my profits. And it was small trades like this, for example, as this thing became overextended and started to get rejected. What I wanted to do was try getting into SQQQ, right? But as you guys know, this thing actually ended up, bouncing off the EMA and going with the flow. So I did a good job of going with the flow here, but I did a poor job of doing it over here, right? So once it reached right around these levels, I was trying more to predict of when what this thing was actually going to reverse, when in reality, if I just went with the flow, right, I would have been able to profit on this trade on TQs. And then as this thing breaks below the EMA, I can always try getting into, the opposite ETF. And so, although it was very choppy and had many fake outs, generally, right, given an overview of the day, it was possible to make money, right? It's not like it was impossible. You have a general sense of the high points, right around these areas, and the low points on the day, right around these areas, closer to the bottom VWAP. And so heading into today, I kind of knew, right, as you guys know, that it was going to be trading sideways and very choppy the way it was. And how exactly did I know that? Well, if we take a look at the NASDAQ, right, before, what typically tends to happen is whenever it has days where it has a big sell-off like it did here, it'll typically have a few, days up to maybe even a week where it's trading very sideways, right? It's consolidating it's not really trying to or it's not really forming any true direction, right? And it's more trading sideways after these big drops. So as you guys will notice, pretty much like what you guys will see, like for example here, and then it happened again here where it drops very aggressively, and it'll kind of trade sideways, right? So it's trading sideways. As this thing picked back up, we ended up seeing a nice drop, and now it's doing more consolidating, right? We don't know if this thing's going to continue to uptrend, if it's going to break up to the EMA and get rejected like it has before here, right? Where it approaches the EMA and gets rejected. So that is something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. Obviously, the market can continue to sell off. Nothing ever has to happen in the market. So it can continue to sell off. It can start to recover. We just need to give it time to really see which way it wants to go, right? And but another big thing I wanted to talk about with you guys today was just red days in general. And so this is my third day in a row being red, right? And so as you guys know, I trade with $10,000. So at the moment, I am probably down around 250 to $260 this week, day trading alone. And, that's almost 3%. So I'm averaging almost a 1% loss every day, which is very bad. And, I just want this channel to be very relatable, especially if you're a new trader and stuff like that. I want you guys to have a channel that you guys can go to every day and, where the trader isn't necessarily killing it, right? I'm not making any crazy money. This week I'm down a lot. And that's the beauty of this channel, right? I kind of want to show traders and like give them someone to reference to when they're feeling down about themselves. And I really want to normalize red days. So obviously this week's been going poor with me, and I can handle it one of two ways. I can either decide to whine about it and cry about it and just think that the market's out to get me and, I'm just a horrible trader, or I can just, realize it's 1 week out of my whole trading career where it's going south, right? I've had weeks where I've been green and I was blessed to be green, and this is just one of those weeks that really sucks, right? I haven't been resonating with the market well. I haven't been managing my risk as well, yesterday as I should have, right? And so ultimately, it's okay though. With stocks, the way I approach it is it's a long-term thing. I'm not trying to make it or break it right now, right? Especially because I'm still young. Majority of people who are trading, even if you're 40, 50, you're still very young. You still got a lot of life left to go. And so I just want to make it normal to have red days, and like I want this to be a channel where we really build a community that, encourages one another and just really makes it okay and puts into perspective that red days are completely fine, right? They're gonna be a part of trading. You can never just expect to be green the rest of your life. They're gonna be red days, right? As well as the green days. And it's just a matter of how you react to the red days and carry yourself and handle yourself that ultimately matters, right? Like I said, I could just be whining and complaining about my performance, but that's not really going to do me any good in the long run, right? What I want to do is be self aware and realize, okay, I am making lots of mistakes this week, but every single red day is an opportunity to learn something new and to improve your trading, right? So I obviously made mistakes. I wasn't profitable this week. So that's making me want to spend more time in making sure, I'm seeing why my trades, which trades are doing good, which ones are doing bad, and like really analyzing my trades altogether, right? Because doing that is going to be more effective than just whining, right? So I really want to go over my trades, see what I can do better in the future. And you guys just got to realize that red days, they're just such a small part of like the bigger picture, right? Stocks should really be more long term. Even day trading, it takes, it can take people years and years, which it's been taking me to learn. And it should just be that much more encouraging, right? That this market isn't so easy that anyone can just come within a year and just kill it, right? It's gonna take time. It's gonna take years of consistently showing up every day, and I'm ready to do that. And I'm ready to learn and try to, learn from my mistakes. But yep, sorry if I've been going on and blabbering, but that's ultimately everything that I wanted to talk about with you guys. I hope you guys, found this video informative or learned something new. If you guys did, I would really, really appreciate if you guys dropped a like on the video and subscribed if you haven't already, because we are new and it really helps out. And like I said, we're really trying to just build a community where, we want to be like the relatable day trading channel where people can just tune in, check in and just realize that, we have red days too. We're normal. And yep, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I will be posting a recap tomorrow, so I hope you guys tune in for that. But otherwise, that's everything I wanted to, get off my chest. And yeah, I hope you guys all ended green, and I will see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's recap. Take care and have a good rest of your day.